Hello, darling. It's great to see you again, and thanks for joining me for today's video. Ooh, I just forgot something. Yes, I forgot to grab my microphone. Okay, so that was so funny. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing some work on the van, and thank goodness we have a cool change. It's nice and sunny today, but at least the temperature is a lot cooler, which is, oh my God, it feels really nice. It really does. So hopefully this is the start of the cooler weather, because we're only about 10 days away until autumn arrives. Woohoo! I cannot wait until autumn gets here, that's for sure. Because this summer has just been so hot, and all of the heat waves have been really brutal, you know. And because it's been so hot, the glue in my van has melted, you know, all the glue that I used to hang up the curtains, decor and stuff has melted, and so those things have fallen down, and so I need to fix them up. So I'm going to fix them up today, as well as the ornament and knick-knack shelf, because that ended up breaking. And I made a video about that called, what was that called? Oh my God, how did that happen? And how am I going to fix it? So you can check out that video if you want to. And I ended up getting, let me show you, I ended up getting the shelf to replace the old ornament and knick-knack shelf, but this one seems to be too small, so I'm going to put that shelf back into the bathroom in my apartment, unless I can find another use for it somewhere in the van. And I have another 3-tier corner shelf to go in there. I did go to Kmart as well as Target to look for another shelf, but neither store had any shelf that I was after, so I've decided to use the shelf that I had in my lounge room, which is big enough. And so I'm going to do that today. Like, for example, let me turn you around. As you can see, look at this. And so this should be up there like that, as you can see. So all the glue has just melted, and I just need to fix these things up. And the thing is, I need to fix all this up before I can hit the road, you know, because I'm not going to fix up the van, you know, while I'm traveling on the road, because I would just rather do it now before I hit the road. Then that way when I hit the road, I don't have to worry about fixing anything up in the van, and then I can just enjoy my time being on the road. So the glue that I'm using for to hang up the curtains and decor and stuff, I'm using 2 glues mixed together, which are which are B700. I buy this glue from Temu, as well as hot glue, and I also get the hot glue from Temu, because I can get the large containers for next to nothing. That's why I shop at Temu, and most of the things in my van are from Temu. Okay, so let's get started on the van, shall we? Okay, so, I forgot to put this microphone back on. Okay, so I've fixed up this curtain now, as well as the flowers, as you can see. So now that looks a lot better. I'll just put you on pause. So that's much better. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so at least that's a start. That's one thing done. Oh my God, I can't believe I've still got so much to do in the van. But I will get there. Whether I'll get it all finished today or not, I don't know. If I do, good. That's what I hope I do. But if I don't, that's okay. I can finish it another day. But what's important is that I get as much done as today as I can. And that I get it all finished before I hit the road. And that's what's important. Okay, I keep forgetting to put the microphone back on. Okay, so I'll fix this up now. And I fixed up the curtains, the mirror, the dream catches and the crystal that I'd had up there. So let me show you. As you can see, so we've put the feather back up there and the crystals, the dream catches, the mirror. Now doesn't that look a lot better? And all the decor now looks just so now that looks exactly like how it was before the glue melted and everything fell down. So I'm glad I've got that done. So yeah, okay, so I've got here some small doilies which I got from Temu, as you can see, and I'm going to use them on the ceiling, as you can see, and give you a look. I've nearly done most of the ceiling with doilies, and the reason why I'm using white doilies is because for two reasons. One is decoration, and the other reason is because white, the colour white creates an illusion that the space actually looks bigger. So for those two reasons, that's why I'm using white doilies on the ceiling. Okay, so I'll show you what I've done now. And I'll put the doilies up on the ceiling. Let me show you. Turn you around a bit more. I'll put them up there. I need to get some more around here. I'll put them up here, up along here, and over here. So give you a proper look. That looks a lot better. So that looks a lot better, at least at the start. Well, you gotta start somewhere, don't you? And I can't believe what's happened. My hot glue gun has stopped working. So now I need to get another hot glue. I don't know why my hot glue has stopped working. Maybe because it's an old glue gun. I don't know. I got that one from Spotlight. I'll go down and get another one because I can't finish. How did you turn off? Oh, the batteries must be flat. So I can't finish the van without the hot glue. Even though I've got the B700 glue, which is good, I still need the hot glue. So I'm really disappointed about that, but oh well. So be it, because I tell you what, there's always something, and I mean always something going wrong with van life, isn't there? And now the hot glue gun isn't working. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'll get another one and I will end up fixing everything in the van. So, because I can't do anything without the glue gun, I'm just going to leave the van how it is now, and I'll have to finish it another day. So be it. Well, even though it's a lot cooler today, it's starting to get warm in the van because it's starting to heat up this afternoon now. So, even though this is the last week of summer, and I can start to feel the cool weather now, but we still also have the hot weather as well. So I'm going to finish the van today. That's what I've done enough today. I can't do any more without the glue gun, so be it. And I'll just finish the van another day. So like I said, for the shelf here, I've got another corner, 3-tier corner shelf to go there, which I'm getting from the lounge room in my apartment, because that's the biggest shelf, so that's going to go there. So then I'll be able to put all of the ornaments and knickknacks on the shelf that I had on the previous shelf. And this shelf that I've got in the van now, if I don't find another use for it in the van, I'll just put it back in the bathroom of my apartment. And if you're doing a van build, or whether it's a non-build or a full build or whatever, use the things that you already have at home if you can. That's what I do. And by doing that, you'll be saving money. I mean, it's a great way to recycle. And I think recycling is really important. I really do. And if you don't have things at home, you can get, really good things for your van from IKEA. IKEA has great things for your van, like shelving and seating and so on. storage, etc. And thrift shops are another great place where you can get, really awesome things for, like for your van. Like, for example, everything that I got for my van build, I either got from my home or I got from thrift stores. And I got a couple of things from IKEA as well. And, it was the only way that I could afford to do my van build, because I didn't have the money, because at that point in time I just had enough money to get the van. And it was just an empty van with just two shelves. Let me show you. It just came with this shelf on that side and this shelf on this side. They're the only two things that came with this van. The rest was just an empty shell. So what I decided to do, I thought, okay, I'm going to leave those shelves in the van because I'm going to need them, which I did. They've come in handy for storage things. And I thought what I'll do is I'll design the van build around those shelving. So I thought, okay, the rear vent can be the bedroom, and that's where I decided to put the bed in the middle. And this part here is the living area where I have my kitchenette and diner and toilet and that. And it's important to me that my van looks and feels homey. I know you don't have to do that, and I know that's not important, but it's important to me, because, I think that's important, especially if you're going to be living in your van full time. I know you don't have to, that's just my personal preference. That's why it was important to me to have an ornament and knick-knack shop in my van, just like what I do in my apartment. And I'm planning on moving back into my van full time sometime in the near future anyway. So I'll get another hot glue. I'll go down to Spotlight and get that, and then I'll just come back and finish working on the van, just doing a bit here and a bit there whenever I can. And it also depends on the weather too, because if it's going to be really hot, I'm not going to work in the van when it's really hot. I did that once before and never again. I ended up with an awful headache as well as feeling nausea, and no, it's not worth it. So what my plan is to finish fixing up the van, and when I finish fixing up the van, and then towards the end of next week, when autumn comes and the cooler weather comes, then I'm planning to spend more time in my van on the road with Callie. Callie's probably not going to be too happy about it, but oh well, she'll get used to being in the van again. And then once she gets used to being in the van again, she loves it again, But it's important to me that I spend more time in my van, because being in my van is really great for my emotional and my mental health, because I have trauma from domestic violence. And when I'm in my van, I feel safe. I feel comfortable. I feel happy. And to be honest with you, I wish I could feel like that in my apartment. Sometimes I do. But when that feeling comes, that trauma feeling, when that comes, I don't. Like, like I've mentioned in previous videos, it's like, how can I explain it in a good way? Your heart rate starts racing, like as if you've just ran a marathon. You feel that anxious feeling, where you just feel really anxious and nervous, You can't relax. It's like, I feel like as if, like there's someone in my apartment watching me who's going to barge into my bedroom, and him, and that's the reason why for that is because, that's what used to happen when I was married. But now that I'm safe in my own apartment, the thing is that my nervous system and my brain still thinks that I'm not safe, even though I am. And for that reason, I just can't relax. I always feel like as if I'm in survival mode, and I just can't seem to get rid of that awful feeling no matter what I do, no matter how much I try. I just can't seem to get rid of it. And it has improved over time, don't get me wrong. It's nowhere near as bad as what it used to be, like when after I first left my ex-husband. When I first left him, I didn't feel safe in my apartment at all for the first 3 years. And then after that, the feeling started to subside, but every now and then it still comes back. And then I have to deal with the nightmares every single night. Every time I go to sleep, I have a nightmare. So if I dream 5 dreams per night, I have 5 nightmares per night. If I, have a nap during the daytime, and if I end up having a dream, I still end up having a nightmare, even though it's in the daytime. And when I'm camping in my van at night time, I go to sleep in my van. I still have nightmares in my van. No matter what I do, or no matter how much I try, the nightmares won't stop at all. And the thing is, because I did not know this until the ambulance driver told me, is that every time I dream about what happened, think about it, talk about it, even when I was writing my book about it, and what happens is that my heartbeat automatically goes up to 190. So my heartbeat is constantly racing all night. And during the daytime when I talk about it or think about it, or when I have intrusive thoughts, And that's the name of that awful feeling, the intrusive thoughts. And because of that, that's why I feel exhausted all the time. Because my heartbeat is constantly racing. And I just can't get that to stop. If I could get my heartbeat to stop racing, and if I could get the nightmares to stop, and if I could get the intrusive thoughts to stop, I would be real happy. But it just doesn't seem to happen. And that I don't think they're ever going to stop. And these are because these are all symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. And so, I mean, things happen in life, where you can't control, like for example, car accidents, illnesses, natural disasters, and all these things that can cause post-traumatic stress disorder. Being a soldier in war is another thing that causes post-traumatic stress disorder. And the thing is that once you get post-traumatic stress disorder, that's it. You have it for the rest of your life, and there's no cure for it. There's no medications that can help take away the nightmares and that. So therefore, you just have to deal with it the best way that you can. Whether it's meditation or counseling or hypnosis or whatever, and hopefully you'll find something that works for you. But once you get post-traumatic stress disorder, you will never get rid of the symptoms like the intrusive thoughts and the nightmares, etc. Even if they do subside, they will always come back eventually, even if it's only once every now and then. So my advice is, the best thing that you can do is to avoid getting post-traumatic stress disorder, if you can. Now, like I said, there are things like that will happen in life that you can't avoid getting post-traumatic stress disorder, like I mentioned, car accidents, natural disasters, and so on. But there are some things that you can do to help avoid getting post-traumatic stress disorder, like, for example, your relationship. So, the best advice that I can give you is that if you start a new relationship with a new partner, don't rush into the relationship, Just go slowly and let it go naturally, because you need time to see who your new partner really is. You need time to look for red flags and warning signs, so never rush in. And if he or she, tries to make you rush the relationship, well, there's a red flag. Get out of that relationship, because that's a red flag. And the best advice I can give you is that when you see the very first red flag or warning sign, that's it. End that relationship right there and then. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're stopping the relationship before it goes any further. And you're ending the relationship before the abuse begins. Because once you see the first red flag or the first warning sign, that's it. Game over, because that's going to be the start of what's going to be happening in the future, and it will just become worse and worse and worse over time. And if you terminate the relationship before the abuse begins, by doing that, you're also preventing post-traumatic stress disorder and other things like anxiety, depression and so on from occurring as well. And my motto is prevention is better than cure, and it's cheaper too, because if you prevent something from happening, you're also preventing costs that may materialize as well, whether it be ambulance fees, doctor's fees, medication, whatever. So like I said, you can't always prevent things from happening. You can't always prevent post-traumatic stress disorder from happening, because of a car accident, natural disaster, whatever. But you can control your relationship, to a certain degree. So if you start a new relationship with a new partner, as soon as you witness or say the first red flag or warning sign, that's it. Get out of there immediately. So that's the best advice that I can give you. I mean, to be honest with you, I wish that someone had given me that same advice when I was younger. But no one did. And therefore I had to learn via my experiences. And now I want to be that person to give you and other people, advice and that information that no one never gave me, if that makes sense. You see what I mean? And because I'm telling you now, it's not worth getting post-traumatic stress disorder or anxiety or depression or whatever. It's really not worth it. And if you can avoid it, then do that, because that's what you're better off doing. And that's what I wish I had have done, but I didn't know. You see what I mean? Okay, so this video has been going for just over half an hour, so I'm going to end this video now. I'll have to finish the van another day. I need to get another hot glue gun. To be honest with you, I was expecting something to go wrong. I didn't know what, but I knew something was going to go wrong because it always does. Even if it's just a small thing, like the hot glue gun stopping working. But I guess that's van life, isn't it? So I'm going to finish the van another day. I'll get my glue gun and then I'll finish it another day. And then after I finish fixing up the van and doing all the little things that I want to do, then I'll make another video of another van tour. But I'll worry about that when the time comes. And we've only got about 10 more days until the end of summer. Woohoo! So I'm really glad about that. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to autumn and enjoying the cooler weather and spending more time in my van. And then I'm just going to hit the road. I don't care where I go. I don't know where I'm going to go. But I'll worry about that when the time comes. I'm just going to just do what I can do in the meantime when I can. And then we'll just see what happens after that. And then I've got the rest of the year to get well prepared for summer next year, because I'm definitely not going to go through next summer with what happened this summer with the heat and all that and being stuck in my apartment. So, one of my subscribers mentioned about putting a Maxi fan in my van. So sometime later this year I'm going to get a Maxi fan installed in the roof in my van. I'll also get the air conditioner in my van fixed, as well as getting some sort of portable air conditioner that I can also use in the back of the van. So I've got plenty of time between now and when next summer arrives to do all that. So when next summer comes, I'll be able to spend all of my time, or whenever I want to spend time in my van, not have to worry about being in a hot van. Kelly and I will be able to stay in our van next summer and enjoy being in a nice, comfortable, cool van. So that's another thing that I'm looking forward to experiencing next summer. So I'll worry about those things when the time comes. But I will be documenting all those things when I do that. And so what I've learned from this summer is to always be prepared beforehand. And I wish I had have thought about that before summer came, but I didn't think of it, did I? Until the hot weather comes and oh no, it's too hot and I don't have the money to buy an air conditioner. And all of a sudden I'm stuck in the heat. You see what I mean? So make sure that, your van is well prepared, for winter, for summer, before those seasons come. So make sure that your van is winterized before winter comes. Make sure that your van is prepared for summer before summer comes. You see what I mean? And that's really most important, because the last thing that you want to experience is, being stuck in your van like in the middle of winter, and you're not properly prepared for winter, and then all of a sudden a blizzard comes, or something like that. And the same thing with summer. You don't want to get stuck in your van in the middle of somewhere it's really hot, and you're not prepared for summer, and you don't have a good air conditioner, and all of a sudden these terrible, brutal heat waves come, and these things, they do happen. There will be times when you will experience a blizzard or a brutal heat wave or whatever, and the last thing that you want to do is be stranded somewhere and not be well prepared, because if you're going to get stranded somewhere, or even if you're not stranded, but you want to be able to be comfortable in your van no matter what happens. So if you're in the middle of winter and if a blizzard suddenly comes, at least, you'll be able to be comfortable and safe in your van. And the same with summer. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And, that's most important, because, having your van well prepared for winter and for summer, that could be the difference between life and death. You get what I'm saying? So you just never know. So that's why it's most important to be well prepared. And that's what I'm going to do this year. So yeah, so that's what I've learned from this experience, because there's no way I'm going to get stuck in my apartment again. Especially when I have to tolerate that spider feeling, those awful intrusive thoughts, and that horrible trauma feeling where I just felt like as if I couldn't escape because I couldn't hop in my van because it was too hot. And, that feeling just became worse and worse and more intense. And I was really struggling real bad, and I was suffering, and there was nothing I could do about it because I couldn't get out of my apartment because of the heat. You see what I mean? And I couldn't concentrate or focus properly, and it didn't make me feel well at all. I just felt like really drained and like I had no energy, and oh my God, it was just horrible. So I'm not going to go through that ever again. So from now on, I'm going to make sure that my van is well prepared for winter before winter comes, and well prepared for summer before summer comes. And that's what you need to do too. So that's what I've learned from this experience. Okay, so 42 minutes. I'm going to end this video here. So thanks for joining me for today's video. I really appreciate it. I really do. So please subscribe to my channel to support me, and give my videos a thumbs up. And I will see you, darling, in my next video. So until then, please take care, and of course, drive safely. Bye-bye, darling.